In the words of Jay-Z, would you rather be underpaid or overrated? I'm not sure if that's really applicable to this video.
It definitely isn't.
Okay, fair enough, but be that as it may, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna take it and we're gonna run with it because when in doubt, you quote Hove. It's always a safe bet. It's always a safe bet. So, what do we got? We got sneakers, sneakers, and more sneakers. Hype, hype, and more hype. But hype doesn't really last though when you think about it. I guess certain shoes are able to maintain some level of hype. But when you think about the sneakers that have had crazy hype a year ago, 2, 3, 4 years ago, 99% of them, nobody's talking about them anymore. There's just too much product. There are too many sneakers releasing. So shoes are forgotten about very, very quickly. And that is why, here's the point that I'm making, bear with me. That is why the classics are important. The classics are always dope. The sneakers that don't need hype to sell, but they end up being very underrated. So many people are worried about the latest hyped up release. They overlook some really good sneakers, myself included sometimes. I think most of us can relate to getting caught up in that stampede of hype and then falling and being trampled like Mufasa in Lion King. R.I.P. We did a video yesterday and we showed a sneaker, a classic, and several people hit me up talking about said sneaker, and they kind of inspired this video actually. Well, not kind of, they did inspire this video. So with that said, here it is. The most underrated sneaker in my entire collection. Drum roll, please.
We don't do that anymore.
Maybe you could cut in an old clip or something?
I could, but I won't.
Oh. Okay, well, I've got to save the day once again. I've got to carry buckets on my back once again, as I always do. Drum roll, please. Brrr, bang, bang. The New Balance 990. This is the V4 to be exact, and this is a sneaker. This is a sneaker done right. It isn't a collaboration. It isn't limited. It isn't a sneaker you see all over Instagram. It's just a really good sneaker from a really good brand. I've been a fan of New Balance for a long time. I can still remember going to the New Balance store in the city after school and trying on their most expensive models. I was feeling like a king in there. And if you've been around since the beginning of this channel, right here, this channel, then you know we used to review a lot of New Balance. Not nearly as much anymore, but a couple pairs on deck is mandatory. So a little background on the 990 specifically.
Do you remember the New York City pair? The marathon pair that you ran into the ground?
Oh, I do actually. Pun intended. Yeah, the red pair, those were awesome. Wow. That was a long time ago. I'm trying to think when that was. I know I have a picture on Instagram. Yo, you know what? Anyone who can go on my Instagram at Mr. Fomer Simpson and find that picture. I'm wearing a pair of red New Balance 990s. Anyone who can find that picture and comment, well, so not anyone, the first person who finds that picture and comments on said picture, we will send you something. Nothing big, maybe a sticker pack or maybe a Starbucks gift card, something like that. Red 990s on my Instagram. Okay, back to the background. These first released in 1982 for $100. That is a long time for a shoe to be around. Classic tings. Seriously though, 30 plus years from now, will anyone be talking about whatever shoe was hyped up this month? Probably not. You also can't mention the 990 without mentioning DC and the DMV area. That's really who put the 990 on the map. So salute to the DMV. I won't get into a whole history lesson because I'm not even qualified, but New Balance was popular amongst my peers growing up in New York City. I think sneaker styles that started in the DMV area kind of worked their way up to New York City. Shoes like the Nike Foamposite and the New Balance 990 both started in the DMV area, but were really popular in New York when I was growing up too. So that's how I was first introduced to New Balance, New York City, and I've loved them ever since. Do I like New Balance more than Nike? No, definitely not. And I already know some people are going to hate this video because it isn't a Nike. Urgh. I'll never understand that. I've always liked to have a variety of brands when it comes to sneakers. But I know there's going to be those who, it's not a Nike. I get it. I know it's not a Nike. I just want something that looks good and feels good at the end of the day. And the 990 provides both. They've definitely got more popular, the 990, over the last year or so with the whole dad shoe trend. But this is way more than that. These are timeless. And this isn't even my favorite New Balance model. So that just speaks to how good New Balance is. They're made in the USA. Sneakers like this one are just next level. If you have not seen the process, it's crazy. They are made by hand. There's videos on YouTube that show the different New Balance factories up in New England, and they show how these shoes are made. It is beyond impressive, and the quality and craftsmanship are just out of this world. Now, every New Balance sneaker, I just want to say this, is not made in the USA. But what I'm saying is they're made in the USA sneakers. The ones that are made here are phenomenal. So you can complain about this being a dad shoe or an old person shoe, when in actuality, it's just a really good shoe. And that's why it's underrated. So incredibly underrated by the masses. But that's okay. If you have not tried a New Balance sneaker, I suggest you do so. Even if it's a more basic model like the 574. The first New Balance I ever had was a 574, and then I fell in love with the 900 series and so on and so forth. But trust me, try a New Balance if you haven't. And that's it. I'll stop talking. But I did want to show this sneaker. It's a sneaker that a lot of people were hitting me up about because of yesterday's video where we showed this. And so I thought it was appropriate. Leave a comment below and let me know, what do you think the most underrated sneaker that you currently own, or maybe that you don't even own? What is the most underrated sneaker in the world right now? Leave a comment below and let me know. Thank you for watching. On behalf of everyone here at the workshop, we appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow with a brand new sneaker video, because that is what we do here at the workshop. Also, a lot of people have been asking what the workshop is. This is our video studio. I got a bunch of questions over the last few weeks asking, hey, what exactly is the workshop also? So that's what the workshop is, and we're out of here.